Good morning, Kentuckiana. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us on Channel 11 and on the WHAS11 Plus app. We're glad you're here. It's a chilly morning outside. Let's talk with meteorologist Nicole Hartford. Nicole, good morning to you. I hope you're staying nice and warm today.
Yeah, if you want to stay warm, you might not want to venture outside today. It is cold to start off the morning, but it'll look beautiful, bright, calm, but yes, very chilly. This is our current view in Jeffersonville right now. You can see a couple high clouds out there on the horizon, but overall conditions are mostly clear, and that will help us warm throughout the day today, but it's going to be a slow warm up. We're sitting in the 20s to start off the morning, currently 22 degrees at the airport with a light wind out of the north at about 7 miles per hour. Temperatures are mainly in the teens. However, outside of Louisville, we're down to 15 degrees in Shepherdsville. Right now, 16 over towards Jasper. And when you factor in that very light breeze, it does feel a few degrees colder than the actual air temperature. So it feels like temperatures are in the teens pretty much across the board. It is a lot colder than what we were feeling just a couple days ago, and you do need some sort of coat, probably a heavier coat as you head out the door this morning, especially if you'll be out and about within the next couple hours. We will very slowly climb up to above the freezing point by about lunchtime, and then highs today will only get up into the low to maybe mid 40s in a couple lucky locations. Now, the sunshine is here to stay for the end of the weekend, so as long as you are dressed appropriately, it should still be a pretty nice day, especially as we get into the afternoon and start to see a little warming. But that chill remains in the air all day. We are dry into the start of the week, but I am tracking some rainfall that moves in Tuesday and into Wednesday. I'll have more on the full timeline of that rain coming up in just a few minutes. Gabe.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. Right now, LMPD is investigating a deadly stabbing of a 15-year-old girl in the Iroquois neighborhood. It happened last night in the 5300 block of Buckner Avenue near Rutherford Elementary. Officials say the 18-year-old suspect got away, but was found a short time later in the Iroquois Manor Shopping Center. LMPD confirmed the victim and suspect were in a relationship. Ukrainian President Zelensky is in London ahead of a summit between European leaders. This comes a day after a major blow-up between Zelensky, President Donald Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance. Sources with ABC News say President Trump is considering pausing military aid to Ukraine following that heated exchange at the White House. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest.
Billions of dollars in military aid for Ukraine in jeopardy following that altercation in the Oval Office between President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and President Zelensky. Sources tell ABC News the Trump administration is strongly considering cutting off military support as Ukraine fights for survival amid the ongoing war with Russia.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
Zelensky was at the White House to sign an agreement giving the U.S. access to Ukraine's mineral resources. That deal unsigned.
I just want to get a deal done, and if the deal happens, good. But you can't embolden somebody that does not have the cards.
Today, Zelensky saying on social media, no one wants peace more than we do. It's a fight for our freedom, for our very survival. But we can't just stop fighting and not having guarantees that Putin will not return tomorrow. The Ukrainian president in London for a summit with European leaders, where he was welcomed like a hero. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer putting his arm around him, reiterating Ukraine's key argument: they can only accept a potential peace deal if there are security guarantees which prevent Russia from re-attacking Ukraine.
To achieve what we both want to achieve, which is a lasting peace for Ukraine based on sovereignty and security for Ukraine.
This as Russian forces struck this residential building in the south. And another ballistic missile attack, according to Ukrainian officials. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Now back here in Louisville, JCPS students spoke out to address community-wide issues at the 5th Annual Park Community Credit Union Justice Fest. WHAS11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester heard a variety of their concerns.
Opening with a look into their world today.
If this is America today, it cannot be JCPS.
JCPS students involved in the Hispanic Student Union speak up at Justice Fest.
Recognize we belong.
This group presented a culminating project involving research and action. The students are challenged to make Louisville their classroom and justice their curriculum.
And just reimagining a world that is fair for everyone and is moving in a positive direction.
Their world is becoming a different reality, with Trump executive orders putting limits on immigrants and a looming Senate bill in Frankfurt that aims to dissolve diversity, equity, and inclusion in public schools.
My friend Dana, she's self-deported.
She self-deported because of fear of what this country was becoming.
The students spoke directly to the community through panelists made up of JCPS teachers and local leaders.
I'm really interested in knowing what you have been able to do in terms of engaging adults in the room.
We went off to the Board of Education, did not want the HSUs, BSUs, ASUs, LGBTQ communities to disappear. Because if you cancel those clubs, you're canceling our voices.
Telling them where they want change.
We don't feel enough support from JCPS.
Calling for more adult representation.
And with the Hispanic counselor, I don't have to explain why I feel torn between these two worlds.
And literature representation.
This lack of representation sends a clear message. Our history, stories, and voices are not being considered.
These young activists.
And they also realize they can't vote, but elections have consequences that impact them. They do have a voice, and that voice matters.
Using what they have.
You are the mirror to their silence, so you have to be loud. You have to crack and break that mirror so that other people, specifically adults, listen.
To ignite change. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS11 on your side.
Students during that meeting also expressed a desire to work alongside the Board of Education.